We continue our journey. From Yerevan, we take the M4 Motorway to Lake Sevan. Armenia's greatest lake is embedded in the highlands. We drop by at the monastery of Sevanavank. In former times, the buildings were standing isolated on an island. However, since the lake has been subject to a significant loss of water, nowadays the monastery is connected via a headland. The abbey is easy to reach from the main road, so we are not the only ones looking around. Well, a good time to watch the hustle and bustle and to get a little snack between your teeth. You should also try it. Actually, this kind of potency dumpling is meant for you. It does have a kind of disgusting consistency, but with all these nuts inside it, it's delicious. Let's move on to the green hills and woods of Tavush. We did not expect these lush forests just 1.5 hours drive from the hot and dusty plains of the Ararat Valley. Here we almost feel like being in a different country. Near Dilidjan, we get in touch with a calm and peaceful landscape. The mountainous surrounding creates a pleasant climate. Crossing a lively small creek, walking up the hillside, breathing in the fresh air of the morning, feeling so close and deeply connected to nature. Being part of an untouched forest. Something is hidden in between these elderly trees. Matosavank, an hermitage of the 13th century. Lonely but not forgotten. Here I can experience silence. I may touch the grooves and cracks of the stone. Want to comprehend how history happens and what transiency means. How was life in former times? When monks were here, living a life of devotion to God? Few indications are left behind. Silence and sparkling light inside. A beautiful crosstown out there, and the sun are warming my mind. Where you find overwhelming beauty, dark corners may also come to light. Away from the tourist attractions, especially along the roadsides, you may come across littered places or a rubbish dump. People easily look away when it comes to pollution. This is something one could work on. In the province of Lori, abandoned and dilapidated halls are testimony to a bygone era of heavy industry. Wheels must roll on. Further to the north, to a part of Armenia which is more remote. Near a little village with the name Kirants, we are getting very close to the border between Azerbaijan and Armenia. Now the road runs almost parallel to the border. Here we don't feel perfectly at ease, because we are not sure whether the conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan affects the level of safety in this corner of the country. We decide to stay on our path. Finally, we made it to the edge of Lesser Caucasus. At this point, the landscape becomes more gentle and spacious. A picnic in the midday sun may leave us a little overheated. Heaven sends down pervading warmth. It makes our clothes dry quickly. We are impressed by the beauty of nature. The countryside is covered with flowers as far as the eye can see. I imagine how horse-riding nomads have passed through these landscapes several hundred years ago. Roadsides, fields and meadows are dotted with poppy. I am trying to move towards a more impulsive, more Caucasian driving style. We stay on the main road to get to Lori province soon. We made it! This is Lori! Land of canyons and deep gorges, and fairy tales. And this is our comeback to more lively locations, and a suitable place to get familiar with medieval Armenian sacred architecture. Near Alaverdi, above the course of the river Debet, you will find Hakpat Monastery. As a masterpiece of ecclesiastical architecture, it is placed on UNESCO's World Heritage List since 1996. The monastery has its origins in the 11th century. Queen Chosrova Nush endowed the Church of the Holy Sign, Surp and Shan, for her two sons, Zimbat and Gurgen. With its composition consisting of a main church, multiple chapels, mausoleums, a library and a bell tower, Hakpat is a prime example among Armenian monasteries. The country is famous for its sacral architecture. Building material throughout the country is volcanic tufa. For monastic structures, the most commonly used technique is the following. Load-bearing elements, such as arches and columns, are made of massive stone, whereas the interior of the walls consists of filler material and the outer skin is made from solid and precisely interlocked stone slabs. In Armenia, stonemasonry has a long tradition. There is no such practice to paint the internal walls of churches, but instead Armenians carve paintings from the stone. All over the country, so-called khachkars, crossstones, demonstrate skill and ability. We appreciate that Armenians nowadays restore and maintain their cultural monuments with a lot of effort and commitment. In the past as well as today, Armenians have a very special relationship with the church and the monastic sites. We have found them to be spiritual places of recreation and human encounter. What are the next meeting points along our itinerary? We remain curious